Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Every week, I'm coming into your life to multiply your life, multiply your money, and always multiply your business. I believe a good coach will do three things for you. They'll have conversations with you don't want to have. They'll make you do some things you don't want to do. Boy, they will help you become something you did not think you could become. Step into your greatness, because guess what? The phone is ringing. Jack, can you hear the phone ringing? It's ringing. And you know who's calling? Your potential is calling. But unfortunately, your voicemail box is full and the potential can't seep in. Today on Super Coach, opportunities knocking. I'm going to talk about how to drive your deepest human potential. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and this is Super Coach. Hey guys, this is Coach Michael Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. Hello. Welcome to the Greatness Factory. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Step into your great. When are you going to come see me at the Greatness Factory? Today we had a full house for $1 Million Follow-Up, little book that I wrote, mostly monster producers. I teach Monster Producer, my biggest live coaching program. Very, very seldom will you see live coaching programs like we're doing today. And I teach that program 4 times a month in Middle Tennessee, and then I go to Knoxville, and then I go to Chattanooga, and we can live stream it right into your house out there in the world. All you got to do is email info@coachburt.com or go to monsterproducer.com, because guess what? Your potential's calling. Your potential is calling, but your voice mailbox is full. You need another person in your life helping you drive that potential. So today we're going to talk about what is potential. And by the way, if people tell you got a lot of potential, it's actually a backhanded compliment. I don't know, Jack, if you're 40 years old, 50 years old, and a person tells you got potential, that means you ain't reaching your potential, right? Like Phil Fulmer, University of Tennessee, one of his big concepts of potential was if your potential means you ain't there yet. Well, sometimes Phil wasn't there yet. You know what I'm talking about? Is he wasn't reaching his potential. So today we're going to talk about your potential is calling. What does that mean? Number 2, we're going to talk about how do you pursue your potential. And there's 4 steps I'm going to give you, because I am intently curious about my potential. I believe God gave us potential. That's our gift from Him. He also gave us grace. But my gift back to God is me activating my potential. Because I think, man, when we get to the pearly gates, I think there's only going to be 2 questions we get asked. One question is, hey, what did you do with my son? Did you accept him? And number 2, what did you do with what I gave you? Wouldn't it be a sad day, Jack, to get to the pearly gates and go, man, I spent 40 years at a job I didn't like. I really didn't do much impact in the world. What's up, Peter O'Neill? What are you doing with your potential, Peter? Right here, B. What are you doing with your potential? And I heard a pastor once say this. He said, man, I have to do funerals all the time, and there's good funerals and there's bad funerals. Said the good funeral is I sit around with the family and I talk, I listen to the stories, and we laugh and we cry and we laugh and we cry. And I have to boil all of that down, all of that impact down into just a few statements to eulogize the person appropriately. He said, but man, there's bad funerals too. When nobody's got anything to say. Person didn't impact anybody, didn't do anything, didn't pursue anything. That's a bad funeral. So potential is this concept. So we're going to talk about what is potential. Number 2, how to pursue your potential. And then I want to actually help you build a bridge between where you are to where you want to go, because there are a lot of people in the world, right? There are a lot of people in the world. You calling me, Jack?
Yeah, I was trying to call potential.
Yeah. Hey, potential's calling. Hey, is my voicemail full? Because it's calling. Pete O'Neill. Come on, man. So here's the deal. Mamas and daddies would drop their daughters off to me. Mamas and daddies would drop their daughters off to me when I was a high school basketball coach, and they all said the same thing. My daughter's got a lot of, what do you think they said? They didn't say issues, although sometimes they did. They'd say, my daughter has a lot of potential. She just needs something. And I would hear things like confidence, structure, resilience, bounce back, discipline, accountability. I said, well, thank goodness you brought your daughter to us, because we are going to engage your daughter in a set of systematic and consistent behaviors that allows her to do something tomorrow she cannot do today. I'm going to take your daughter and I'm going to turn her into a confident young woman, because I'm going to put her through my greatness factory. Now, but I would ask this question, and this is big. If you got kids, here's the question I would ask them. I got a question, you're not going to like it. Is your daughter seeing you reach your potential? Is your daughter seeing you push and strive and stretch and really, really get in? And man, they would be like, oh, coach, man, I didn't know you were going to ask me that question. Here's the deal. Is it not hypocritical for us to tell our children they have potential when they don't see their own parents reaching theirs? Is it not hypocritical for us to tell our employees that they got more potential when they don't see the boss reaching theirs? You see, for me to go out and tell other people in the world they got potential, they got to see me getting mine. They got to see me squeezing out and pushing toward everything that the good Lord gave me. I am reaching in. It's the parable of the talents. One of the talents you gave me was this. I'm using it. I'm not burying it. I'm using it. So what is potential? Potential, here's the definition. It is this idea of embryonic growth that we'll be better today than we were yesterday. We will be better tomorrow than we are today. That we are striving toward. We are stretching. We are pushing. The best definition of potential is the idea of kinetic energy that is sitting and stored until activated. I personally do not think you can reach that potential on your own. I personally do not believe without the help of another person that you will stretch and push and strive. I actually think you will contract and retreat. I do not think you will push without the help of a coach. This morning I'm in the gym with my trainer, and guess what? Okay? This morning, Clay Whitaker, good to see you, man. I miss you, Clay Whitaker. I love you, Clay Whitaker. I'm in the gym with my trainer, and he's pushing me. And with not, I contract, I retreat. So to me, so many people, that shocks me, are disinterested in their own potential. Makes me sick, man. I've never seen a society so apathetic, so lethargic, so entitled, that they actually believe that somebody, listen, it's not my potential, it's yours. You know, I see some people, I'm like, man, you're not remotely interested in your own potential. And it is so sad that you're wasting this talent that you have been given, this energy that you have been given, this potential. What's up, Ryan? When I was a basketball coach, I would say, man, they got so much potential, but they're lazy. Or they got so much potential, but this. So I don't know. Here's the deal. I don't know what your agreement with the universe is. Only you know. So I don't know if you're striving toward your potential or not. So what is potential? It's kinetic energy that's stored until utilized. The idea of embryonic growth. If you're not better today than you were yesterday, you know, I teach Monster Producer 5 times a month. By the time I teach it the 5th time, I should be good at it. I should get better. I should be better this year than I was last year. It is a myth that you get better when you get older. You just get older. If you don't change something and shift something and move something, you're not getting better as you get older. You're just getting older. So let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here in segment number 1. Because your potential is calling. Right, Clay Whitaker? Right, Ryan in Knoxville? SEAC? Come on, brother. I need some new Under Armour shirts, by the way. I'm shifting from Nike to Under Armour. So I want to talk to you about that. Kryptonite is one thing holding you back. You've been told your whole life you got more potential, but you have done nothing with it. Isn't that sad? It is so sad for people to tell you got potential. You got potential. Listen, if you're 40 years old and you're still hearing that, it's time to get up. It's time to get playing. It's time to get busy. And we come back in segment number 2. How do you pursue with the relentless spirit your potential? I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Super Coach. Come on, Kendall K. Come on. Here we go. We're reaching potential today. Come on back in segment number 2, guys. When I was 31 years old, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was Robert Kiyosaki's book about how he had 2 dads. And the subtitle is What the Rich Teach Their Kids That the Poor and Middle Class Never Do. And it was such a great book. I tried to figure out, why did 30 million people buy that book? What was the appeal
Well, it compared and contrasted rich people and poor people. He had two dads. His biological father was a poor dad, and his friend's father was his rich dad. And he got advice. He got conflicting advice. And so one Saturday, I was in an inspired state, and I wrote a blog called "Good Coach, Bad Coach: Secrets the Great Coaches Know That the Others Never Figure Out." And it was the most read blog I think I'd ever written. And it taught me something. There's millions of coaches in the world. I mean millions. A lot of bad coaches. I'm not saying I'm the best coach in the world, but I did have a demonstrated capacity of winning a championship, turning a program around, building it into a dynasty and powerhouse. And then a demonstrated capacity of taking people that I'm coaching out to much higher levels of performance. And so that show is for the leader, the manager, to say, here's what a good coach does, and here's what a bad coach does. And if you want to be a good coach, like I think you want to be, then this show is going to be for you. If you want to transition from a supervisor, manager to a real coach, good coach, bad coach is going to be right up your alley. When I first got the head coaching job, there was a big a concrete wall right down the middle of our locker room that separated the old players and the young players. And the first thing I said is, that wall has got to go. That wall has got to go.
Hey guys, welcome back. Super Coach. Every week multiplying life, money, and business. This one's about your life. This one's about your potential. Shout out, who we got out there? Michael Waitley, Kendall Kay, Ryan Siak, Pete O'Neill, Clay Whitaker. Today I'm doing a little 1-2 punch at 4:30. My wife and I are going to be on Facebook doing our very first Living with a Monster show. And don't tell, Mama's a little bit nervous. So I need you to give her some love, right? This is the first time she don't do a lot of TV like I do. But we're doing this for husbands and wives. If you're married to a driven person, what's it like living with a monster producer? And so 4:30 today, we're going on Facebook Live. We're doing a new podcast called Living with a Monster, and we want you on there. Hey, guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, and I believe, number one, that you need a good coach in your life. You know why? You got potential. You can listen to this on Download, Podcast, Stitcher Republic. Okay? Big Kahuna's got potential. Big Kahuna's running his heating and cooling business. It doesn't have to be boring. He's a monster producer. Clay Whitaker, My Dealer Capital's got potential. He's got all kinds of things going on. Ryan Siak's got potential. Michael Waitley's got potential. Here's the deal, man. I don't know your agreement with the planet. Only you do. Are you doing something with it or not? Are you taking advantage or not? So let me give you 4 steps in how to pursue your potential. Number 1, you got to get intensely curious about your potential. Like I remember being in Tampa, Florida. I went down there for 4 days by myself, and I'm just down there kind of exploring my own potential. And I remember sitting outside one night, listening to some headphones, looking up at the sky, and man, it was like God was saying, you are going to do major things in the world. I am giving you a platform. I am giving you the opportunity. I have given you the talent. Now quit playing so small. So number 1, you got to be intensely curious. I am intensely curious about my potential. I'm constantly between where I am and where I want to be. Number 2, you got to go find a master. You got to go find a master, and you got to get under a person, and you got to be a mentee that is hungry to learn. I hear people all the time, can I spend a day with you? Can I ride on the bus? Can I do this? Look, only if you're going to bring something to the party, man. I don't even care if it's just energy. Want to, hunger, desire. You can't just get on the bus and freeload. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it costs money to get on the bus. It costs gas to get on the bus. I got to put a team on the bus. So for you, you got to go out and find a master, and you need to find a master who's intensely curious about his or her potential. You watch. See, if you study mastery at all when it comes to potential, it's not that big-time people practice more than people that are not big-time. They practice ridiculously more. It's not a little bit. They practice like this much. So a master is, I watch a master. I practice what a master does. I become a master. I watch a master. I practice what a master does, right? So if you want to write a book, pick up a copy of one of my books. But here's the deal. Don't stop there. Ask me, how do I write my own books? Get intensely curious. Step 3, long obedience in the same direction. See, right now, our business is exploding at 206% growth year over year. Why? 10 years 10,000 hours of practice, staying intensely curious, intensely focused, watching the masters, practicing at very high levels, pushing toward potential every day, just a relentless pursuit. And number 4, if you're going to drive your potential, you have got to get in there and uncover new rocks. And let me tell you what I mean by that, is as you pursue your potential, which is just kinetic energy that's stored until utilized, you're actually going to uncover new opportunity that you never knew existed. And so many people, Jack, they do not have a long obedience in the same direction. They got a short obedience in no direction. This morning I'm going to the gym at 5 o'clock, and man, there's just some guy out just walking around, just wandering around. 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Looks like hell. Looks like he'd been drug out of a bar. Listen, short obedience in a short direction ain't going to get you anywhere, man. You got to have a long obedience in the same direction, getting better and better every day. And what happens is it's that flywheel and doom loop. You're building, you're building, you're building, you're building, you're building, and then boom, breakthrough happens. Long obedience, high bounce back, uncovering new rocks, finding new opportunity. I guarantee if you ask Clay Whitaker, My Dealer Capital, he started down this direction, then pivoted again, until he's starting to really come into some serious opportunities and some serious money. Because you know why? It's long obedience in the same direction. So number 1, are you even curious about your potential? Are you intensely curious? You got some interest. Number 2, have you found the master? Yes or no? Have you found the master? Number 3, can you see something through to its logical conclusion? Are you quick in startup but short in follow-up? Okay, this takes a long time to drive your potential. Listen, there's going to be a conversation between you and the big man upstairs, the good Lord, one day, and he's going to ask 2 questions. What did you do with my son, and what did you do with what I gave you? And it's going to be a sad day when you go, I didn't do anything, man. I just kind of messed around for 30 years and did nothing. You're telling me you didn't pursue your talent, you didn't pursue your potential, you didn't help a lot of people on planet Earth, you just went out there and just kind of just survived? That's it? That's right? You don't want to die with your music still playing in you, man. You got to squeeze it out. Leave it all on the field. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here. And I got one more segment of 3 steps. Kryptonite is you're spending time with very low ordinance thinkers. You're spending time with very low ordinance thinkers. So you guys wake up and major in the minors. Listen, when I look back at my life, specifically 25 to 30, there were lots of good things happen in my life from 25 to 30. But man, I was still hanging around some very low ordinance people, which I allowed myself to be drug into very low value activity. I was thinking so small. And here's the sad part, I can't get it back, man. I can't get it back. So if you're hanging around very low ordinance people, the biggest deal they got to do is get out of bed in the morning, try to get to work, try to make it through the day, living for Fridays. Listen, I played that game, and it's a cotton candy world, man. There is no real sustenance there. There is nothing. There is no potential there. It is such a small ball game. Come on back in the final segment. I got 3 steps to give you the bridge from where you are today to where you want to go. Where you are today to where you want to go. I'm going to tell you what's next as it relates to your potential. You're watching Super Coach or listening to Super Coach on podcast. Here's what I do. I believe in you. I believe in you, but you got to get interested in your own deal. Come on back in the final segment. Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, and man, am I excited to announce my second retreat date, Seaside, Florida, November 16th through the 19th. We have so much demand for going to Seaside, spending time masterminding, going deeper on your business, spending some one-to-one time, really dissecting everything from your explanational service to your selling system, to your follow-up, to the experience. And I partnered with Scott Nagy, multi-millionaire who sold his business for millions of dollars, to be able to look at every business on business design. So this specific retreat is to go deeper on your business. Masterminds in the morning, right? Lunch together, dinner at the ocean. We're going to have fun and we're going to mix business and pleasure. Seaside, November 16th through the 19th. $2,500 gets you 2 people to go down there with us. I only have 8 rooms to sell. So take advantage, get in a relaxed state, Go to Seaside with me. Let's retreat to attack. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Super Coach. Look what I brought into the party. All the folks out there.
Hi.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Super Coach. My beautiful wife. Look how we're matching today. She asked me to wear a purple tie, Jack, and I wore my purple tie. So at 4:30 today, we're going live for the very first show together. We're doing Living with a Monster. And I want you to watch that. It's a new podcast we're bringing to market where we're going to come in every single day. And so Natalie is in the studio today with me. We're about to do a show. So, babe, what we're talking about here today on Super Coach is your potential is calling. Okay? Your potential is calling. And my wife, when I first met my wife, I knew her many, many years ago. Okay? And one of the things that she had was a lot of potential. But she didn't know she had a lot of potential. Okay, not that she was hanging around low ordinance thinkers, but we were both hanging around low ordinance thinkers for a number of years. And then she came to a workshop that I did on This Ain't No Practice Life, which was one of my books. She dug into her potential. And when she dug into her potential, she began to get serious about her potential. So remember the steps. First, you got to get curious. Second, you got to find someone who can help you. Third, you got to have a long obedience in the same direction. And fourth, you got to cultivate a bounce back. You got to get serious about your potential. Would you say that's the steps that you went through?
Yes, definitely.
So you didn't get interested in your potential till how old?
I was
Talking to the microphone, babe.
30.
30 years
30
old?
years old.
So she didn't get interested in her potential till 30 years old. So I tell people, if you read my new book, I say she came to one of my workshops, means she was interested in her potential, although I think her company paid for it. Did your company
That's
pay
right.
for it?
Yes, they did.
So her company paid for it. She didn't pay for it out of her own pocket. She came to the potential. She got interested in her potential, okay? And I say she fell in love with her potential, and I fell in love with her. And as a result of that, we got married. Now we have a beautiful daughter who's 5 years old today. Mm-hmm. But she's living proof, guys, that of a person out there 30 years old. She was, she had this potential, but she was not activating. She didn't have a coach. She didn't have anybody pushing her. She didn't have, right? But she was starting to get curious about her potential, right? And look at her today. Beautiful. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're about to do Living with the Monster in just a few minutes on how not to take it personal when you're married to a monster. Let me give you 3 steps, guys, to get you out of here. 3 steps to get you out of here as it relates to your potential is calling. But unfortunately, it's what drives me crazy. I hate people when I call them and the voicemail's full. How can I get in touch with you? Well, your potential's calling, but your voicemail's full. Okay? So let me give you 3 steps. Number 1, there's a discontentment and a disenchantment with what you're currently doing. Here's what happens. You know that you could be doing something at a much higher level. You know this. Okay? You know there's something telling you. Whatever's telling you, look, you're supposed to be playing on a bigger scale. You're in a dead-end job. You're doing something, or you're having success. You could be making $10 million a year and not even be close to your potential. But there is a discontentment. You know this. There's a divine discontentment. And you got to figure out, how do I take advantage of this? So that's step 1. Step 2 is we got to dig in and find the raw materials within you. We got to dig in and force you to find your unique abilities. Force you to find what makes you unique. We got to dig into you to see what can we leverage. And then we got to help you build a bridge from where you are to where you want to go. And this is small steps in one direction. Like when I first started speaking, all I wanted to do first was just figure out how to speak and write books. I didn't really know what I was doing. But I took small steps, intentional steps. 1 step became 2, became 3, become 4. And then I remember the very first person that said, how much would it cost you for you to speak to my team? And I remember saying $350. And when he said yes, I was like, wow, I'm making $100 an hour to coach somebody's team. Right? Then 350 becomes 500, then 750, then 1,000, then 5,000, then 10,000. And here's the deal. Long obedience in the same direction. So if you're out there watching this show today and you're serious about your potential, you're discontented. I don't care what level you're playing at, you're discontented. You're disenchanted with where you currently are. Number 2, somebody's got to help you extract your raw materials. And number 3, you need a person in your life who will have conversations with you that you don't want to have, force you to do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you did not think you become. And if you don't have that coach in your life, that's a big problem. What are you going to continue to do? Contract and retreat. You're going to go back to comfort. When people are low on confidence, they always go back to old habits. in new ways. So I want to challenge you. If you're not in Monster Producer, why are you not in Monster Producer? Go to monsterproducer.com. If you want to spend more intimate time with me like Clay Whitaker is, like Shane Ray the Big Kahuna is, who takes something very boring and makes it interesting. If you want to do that, come to Seaside. We got a few spots left. Come down to Seaside. Let's get serious about your potential, or get in my online academy, my Monster Growth Academy, because I am intensely curious about helping you stretch yourself. Quit telling your kids they got potential and let them start seeing you reach your potential. Every week, I come into your life, to multiply your money, and to multiply your business. You know what I believe? I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. Go to monsterproducer.com, and I will see you 4:30 over at Facebook as we do our new show, Living with the Monster. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Have a great week. Hey there, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. You know, I believe everybody needs a good coach in life, but what if you could get coaching every day on any device, any hour of the day, interactive lessons with me, but what you're really buying is a system, the Monster Growth System. You see, we believe a Monster Producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market. And one of the most popular programs I've ever created is called Monster Producer. But what if you live in other parts of the country? How do you get coached by me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year? The Monster Producer modules, which is 3 years of coaching plus a mega monster level. How to position, how to sell, how to follow up, how to create an experience that drives referrals. In this Monster Growth platform is all of my biggest coaching programs: Monster Attraction, Monster Selling, Monster Managers, Monster Operations. We've even got Monster Faith, Raising a Monster, Living with a Monster. All of my best coaching is in here. Over 400 coaching programs just for you to get anytime, anywhere, any device. And if you want the energy, the insight, the coaching that I give everybody all over the world, the Monster Growth platform is for you. You can get Monster Producer today. Just click on the link, give us your information, and let's get this thing started, because I want to help you become a legendary creature. If you're interested in more time, more energy, more money, more freedom, more structure, more confidence, you know a good coach can squeeze that potential out of you. Go to monsterproducer.com and let's get you signed up today.